Good morning and Happy New Year. It's Monday, January 13th, and we took a little break for the holidays, but we're back and we're happy to be here and welcoming all our students back to the first day of classes for our spring semester. Thanks for joining us on Up to the Minute. I'm Dr. Amy Tan. I'm Dean for English and Communications, and I am here with my co-host, Dr. Nicholas Cox, who's our interim Dean of Humanities and Liberal Arts and Humanities. We're excited to be here and coming back for the new year. How's it going?
I mean, it's great. It's great to be on Up to the Minute with you again. It feels like it's probably been an entire month since our
It
last episode.
has, right? Because I was out for a couple weeks and then we missed each other the last week and then we were out of session. So it's great to be back. And I know you're on campus and I bet it's super busy with students coming back and looking for all their classes.
Yeah, the first week when students are back in the buildings is always a great week. So active, busy, and fun.
Well, how can people find us, Nick, to sign in and watch our show?
Well, we're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. We're also on X, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
And it's Mental Health Monday, so we'll be discussing January as Stalking Awareness Month, and we're happy to welcome Thecia Jenkins, who's the training director for Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council, and our Mental Health Monday guest. Good morning, Thecia.
Good morning, Dr. Tan. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you this morning.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing everything that you're going to share with us and kick off our Stalking Awareness Month. So we'll be right with you.
All right.
See you in a minute. First, it may be the first day back, but we're going to learn how many students graduate without ever setting foot on a campus. And I'm pleased to welcome my boss, Dr. Jerome Drain, the president of HCC Online College. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Drain.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Dr. Tan.
So I know we have a lot of information that you're going to share with us. Let's start with the basic details. We want to mention that HCC's online college is award-winning from Newsweek, no less, and one of the largest community college online colleges in the country.
That is correct. We're excited about that.
It really gives us, I know sometimes it can be a challenge when you're really big, but it also comes with a lot of advantages.
Absolutely. Yeah, and with the online college, what we learned post-pandemic is that online learning, students like it. We know back then students were required to take their classes online. However, during that time, they realized the flexibility that they have. They really do like it. So we're excited about that.
Well, and what are some things that students want to consider when they're trying to decide between an on-campus course and an online course?
Yeah, that's a great question. Students really need to know who they are. If they are self-motivators, self-starters, if they're organized, then they do very well in the online environment. If students need more of the face-to-face instruction with the teacher, the professor, then they most certainly need to take those courses on campus. So it really depends on the student.
Absolutely. And so you talked a little bit about knowing yourself, knowing what is going to help you be successful. What are some other things that a student really needs to take into account to be successful in an online course?
Sure. So once again, for them to be successful, they have to be disciplined. So really that self-discipline is essential, that they know the type of student that they are. There's a lot of reading in the online courses, not just from the material itself, but also instruction. So they need to be able to read that information and really develop their plan of attack along with our faculty. And our faculty are very supportive in providing those guidelines. And really, they're there to keep them on track, and they do that. But really, those students have to be mindful of just the self-discipline and the dedication that they need to have to the online course.
Yeah, that's an excellent point about reading. I think that students don't think about that all of the instructions are going to be written.
Right.
Some of it might be in a video,
Sure.
and certainly faculty try to be multi-pronged in how they're offering instruction and directions, but that there's another heavy reading
That's
component
correct.
in the class. Well, and so you talked about being self-disciplined and self-motivated, and another thing that we know students who are successful do is they ask for help.
Sure.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what resources the online college has?
Yeah, the resources are really numerous, and any type of resource that is available on campus, those resources are also available in the virtual space. So if students need counseling help, we can set them up with our online counselors. If they need advising help, we can set them up with their advisors. In addition to that, the support that they get in the classroom through tutoring is really, really a great resource that we want our students to take advantage of. And when I think about the tutoring that we offer, let me just say it's free. So free tutoring. And that tutoring can either be on one of our locations, or it can be virtual, or through a program called Upswing, whereby students are able to present their papers to an online tutor. And that tutor helps them with the process, not doing the work for them, but help them with the process of writing. So really excited about the opportunities, and students really should take advantage of all of those opportunities.
Absolutely. And I feel like, being part of the online college myself, I get to witness it and see the infrastructure that you created, and making sure that students have tutoring and they have other resources. And of course, free is amazing.
Yes.
And we do like to remind students that, it's free, or it's included in your student fee.
That's
So
correct.
use it, take
Right.
advantage of it.
Absolutely.
There's really no reason. So you mentioned a little bit, I heard you talk about some other resources. What else does how do you create that sort of whole campus online learning experience?
Sure. So once again, anything that you could do on campus, you really can do online. With our online courses, we want our students, as I said, to be disciplined. So there's a certain level of discipline that needs to happen with that. But we want them to actively engage within the courses. So that's really important, that they participate in the courses. They ask questions of our professors, as well as participate in the discussions. So really, it is about them being a part of a community in the classroom, whereby they are there to ask those questions. And as I said before, always utilizing those resources that are made available to them. And anytime students are able to build a routine, that helps them stay on track. So it's really important that they do that.
And we talk a lot about online anytime. And I know that anytime is really attractive and appealing, and one of the reasons students pick it. And you've talked a lot about the responsibility of the student, time management, and
Sure.
those, that is critical. And recognizing that, you've got to pace yourself, you got to get in there, you got to get
Right.
going, and being part of that community can help reinforce that. Well, what are some things in terms of the social aspect? Do you feel that online students sacrifice that for convenience and flexibility?
No, absolutely not. So we're really excited about the offerings of our student life for HCC Online. So in January, we will have 17 events in the online space. So we're really excited about all of those opportunities whereby our students are able to engage in community life. So we do things such as scavenger hunts. Also, at the end of the month, we will have our federal income tax seminar, whereby students are able to ask questions and learn about actually filling out their taxes. So it's the first time we're trying this, but once again, we want to engage with our online students in various ways, and really to create that sense of community, and that they're part of a real community. We're really here, even though we're in the virtual space.
Absolutely. And I know you've got some big things coming in terms of the metaverse, but also I think yoga. You can do yoga.
That's right. That's
right. I'm like,
Absolutely.
maybe I'll join that. But I know you have all of the elements of a traditional campus, including a student government. Can you talk a little bit about that and building leadership skills?
Absolutely. So once again, mimicking what happens on our campuses, we do the same thing in the virtual space. So our student government is quite strong. Okay, they're very strong. I had the opportunity to meet with the officers of the student government and just the dynamic personalities that they had and the real sense of community that they're trying to create as students as well. And the student government is really, it just made me feel very proud to engage with those students. But in the student government, that's where they develop their leadership skills. So we're really excited about the opportunities that they have to voice their concerns and really come up with solutions. So when I met with them, Dr. Tan, that was the conversation that we want to help the online college with whatever the said problem was, but they really came with solutions. So it was just really good to see our students engaged that way and really be that proactive. So it's just a good time to meet with them. So we're excited about SGA.
It is. It's fantastic. And I know that pride, that feeling of pride when you hear them come and they have ideas for how they can resolve and, they have innovations for us to grow and develop and help. And then they're co-creating with us that online space. And I know you're getting ready to launch an honors college. You have some of your first students starting.
We do. So just last week, I met an honors college student that, not virtually, she was actually on the floor, 9th floor of our main building. And she was so excited about being one of our first honor students for the online college. And she was just full of energy.
Yes.
And so that's what we're trying to promote, that opportunity for our students to truly engage in community life of the college, even though virtually, but recognizing that community is big for us, and that will help them succeed.
It's in our name, Houston Community College. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today, Dr. Drain, president of HCC Online College. We're going to have all your information in our post after the show, and we'll have to have you back so you can talk about the metaverse.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. After a commercial break, Nick will talk to our Mental Health Monday guest.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
That one day at PE when they were yelling at me and then you just linked arms with me, I don't think you know how much that helped me. I finally knew that I had somebody.
We are back with Thecia Jenkins of the Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council and our Monday Mental Health Monday guest. Welcome back to the show, Thecia.
Thank you.
Well, we're discussing January as Stalking Awareness Month. And as I know you know, often stalking can be dismissed as a matter of miscommunication between two people, or occasionally it's the subject of cynical and dark humor, but it's a serious subject. Can you tell us exactly what is stalking? How do mental health and public safety professionals define stalking?
Well, stalking, it is definitely a very serious issue. It is a crime in all 50 states. And stalking is a behavior that is directed at a specific person that would make a reasonable person feel fear for their safety.
Well, can you tell us maybe some common or even uncommon examples of stalking? When people talk about stalking, what are they really describing?
What victims and survivors are describing when they talk about stalking is being at Walmart and your partner all of a sudden just popping up there, especially if it's a partner that you are estranged from, that you have left, and that person shows up at Walmart every time that you are there. They show up at other places. Constantly calling you. There have been reports of individuals receiving calls from their partners up to 300 times in one day. It is having a bouquet of roses sitting on your car when you come out from your job. It is your social media being tracked. It is someone maybe putting a tag, one of those eye tags under your car. It's when if you have children with someone and all of a sudden your ex-partner knows every move that you've made. Why? Because that beautiful teddy bear that they sent home with the child also has a tracking device in it. Those are all forms of stalking.
So sort of a whole range of small to large, unwelcome, actions to track someone or crowd them with attention or demand their attention, things of that nature. I often hear about people being victims of stalking because of the ability to track locations on social media, on your iPhone or on Snapchat or things like that. But you're even describing the use of devices like Apple tags that people may not even know about. How might somebody know whether or not they're being tracked? Just suspicious about someone always showing up where they are? Anything people can do to prevent that?
If someone believes that possibly that they are being tracked, definitely when your children have gone away to be with that partner, to maybe go through those items, to look at the teddy bear, to go through the clothing, to go through the overnight bag, with your car. If you suspect, actually take it to the police. Contact your local police department, and they will be able to scan it from bumper to bumper. So those are some things that people can do. And then,
Oh, that's great information. If somebody slipped an Apple tag somewhere deep in my car that I didn't know about, I don't know how I would ever find it. But if the police have tools to try and scan and locate them, that would be incredibly good information to know. You mentioned that stalking is a crime in all 50 states. What can public safety or the police do about it?
well, then that becomes the question. Unfortunately, many times stalking cases, based on my experience, and I've been doing this work for 28 years in the realm of domestic violence and sexual assault, that it can be difficult. So it is incumbent upon the survivor, victim, to keep a stalking log. And our organization, Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council, we're actually having a training tomorrow, and we have an organization coming out called SPARK. And SPARK stands for Stalking Prevention, Awareness, and Resource Center. And just for the people who are watching, you can simply go to stalkingawareness.org, stalkingawareness.org, and there is just a list of resources. And so on that site, you can actually download a stalking log so that you can keep a list. So, oh, wow, my partner showed up at Walmart on January 2nd. My partner, who has never, ever been on HCC campus, all of a sudden seems to be everywhere that I turn on HCC campus. So today I saw them in the student center. Today I saw them at XYZ building, and keep a log of that so that when you do make a report to the police, that you can see what that pattern of behavior, going back to the definition, that it is a pattern of behavior. So by keeping a stalking log, you can begin to establish a pattern.
No, that sounds great. Certainly police would want to know that this was not just an instinct or an assumption, but a pattern of observable actions. So one of the things that Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council does is it helps people draw connections between stalking and domestic violence in order to reduce the harm from both. What exactly is that relationship? How are these two things connected?
What we know is that well over 51% of survivors of domestic violence experience stalking, and over about 80% actually experience stalking while in the abusive relationship. And we also have what's called a domestic violence high-risk team. Domestic violence high-risk team. And this is a national initiative to prevent homicides related to domestic violence. And so part of this initiative is to use a tool called the Danger Assessment, created by Dr. Jacqueline Campbell of Johns Hopkins University. And it's become the best practice to prevent homicide. And specifically talking about the intersection of stalking and domestic violence, is that one of the indicators of homicide is if your partner is stalking you.
Well, you mentioned several things, including the training and the website links and these tools and partnerships that are local or national. And we'll have a lot of information in our post after the show about all the information you do. But what are some things coming up besides tomorrow's training that people might want to participate in with the Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council? Anything you'd like
Thank you.
our audience to know about coming up?
Well, thank you for asking. We actually have a monthly meeting with the exception of August and December. So the second Thursday of each month at the United Way of Greater Houston, we meet from 2:30 to 4, and we have guests that come in. And it's also an opportunity for individuals and organizations that are committed to preventing and addressing the issue of domestic and sexual violence. On next month, February 12th, I believe, that'll be the second Thursday. We will be having a virtual event instead of our face-to-face meeting, but it will be a panel on teen dating violence. February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. So we have one of our individuals from our training center, Stephanie Hayes, will be one of individuals on the panel. We have Ellen Wilder, who is with Expect Respect, which is a national initiative, a primary prevention tool used in schools with youth to prevent dating violence. And also Dr. Layla Wood, who is with UTMB. And she is part of the 4Rs. And this is an international initiative that has been developed at UTMB to come against domestic violence and sexual violence with young people. So those are some of the things that we have coming up. We also, in April 29th, we have a training that's going to be called the Pink Monologues. And it's really, it's about brain injury as a direct result of domestic violence. As I get ready to close out, wrap it up, is that people also to be aware that in domestic violence, that traumatic brain injury is also a serious issue. So those are the things that we have coming up, and you can visit our website.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We'll have links to your website on our notes after the show, so anybody out in the audience can follow up and find those events. I'll just say to our students out there, especially, many times over the last 20 years, I have known students who have asked for and received police assistance on campus to escort them from class to class or class to parking lot. And so I just want students out there to know that if you are at all in any fear of stalking, HCC police are there to help you as well. This is Thecia Jenkins from the Harris County Domestic Violence Coordinating Council, our Mental Health Monday guest. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, coming up after a quick break, Amy and I will return with some news and announcements.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
And we're back with some news and announcements. We're going to start off with congratulations to HCC's own Michelin star. HCC alum, chef, and restaurateur Felipe Riccio is among the first round of Houston restaurants to receive the prestigious Michelin star. Chef and founder of Houston's March restaurant, Riccio is recognized for excellence and quality among world-class restaurants. During a visit to the HCC Culinary Arts Lab, Riccio, a 2012 graduate, said, "I'm kind of nerdy, but I remember when I was here at HCC and we started a modernist cooking program with Chef Christy Sykes. Now a lot of people are devoting time and attention to the science behind it." End quote. We want to congratulate Felipe Riccio and March Restaurant. And, we're very excited about our first week of welcoming students back. Right, Nick?
That's right. That's right. Southeast College has weeks of welcome. Students will want to make the most of their spring semester by becoming part of HCC's Southeast College's Weeks of Welcome resource fairs. They're from 11 to 1 and 4 p.m. today and tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, January 13th and 14th. Just stop by the Eastside Campus Student Life Outdoor Patio. You can check the post after the show for more information.
And we're going to be welcoming our own internal group, SPY. They're offering coffee and conversation. If you're wondering what that HCC acronym stands for, it's Strategy, Planning, and Institutional Effectiveness. SPY is a pretty cool name too. As HCC strives to build a culture of exceptional support, that department is inviting faculty and staff to attend its upcoming tours. First up, 9 to 10 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. That's going to be this week, January 14th at the Northeast Campus, January 17th at our Katy campus. Be sure to check that post after the show for all the information.
All right, and financial aid for spring. Don't let costs hold you back. The spring 2025 semester is here, and students can still register and make sure they're set up for success by exploring financial aid options to help cover their costs. From grants and scholarships to loans and work study programs, there are resources available to help everyone cover their costs. Don't let finances hold you back. Check our post after the show for registration and information.
We don't want you to miss out on classes because of financial aid. So be sure to check out those resources. And just a reminder that this next Monday will be Martin Luther King Day. And so we will not be having an episode of Up to the Minute. And Nick and I will be sad about that because all HCC campuses will be closed to observe Martin Luther King Day next week. Up to the Minute will not air. However, we'll broadcast our best of episodes on HCCTV. So you'll get to see some of our past performances. Just again, no Up to the Minute next week, January 20th. We'll come back on the 21st.
All right, and last announcement of the day, the spring registration is open. It's continuing. Registration is ongoing. Classes are offered in a variety of programs and in various session lengths during the semester. Our courses are offered in a range of modalities, including traditional in-person, online anytime, online on a schedule with virtual meetings, and we also have hybrid classes and hybrid labs that bring both modalities together. To learn about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, go to hccs.edu/apply.
Wow, and that's almost all the time we have, Nick. It went by so fast this morning.
And we'll have to do it again in 2 weeks, I guess.
We will, 2 weeks. And just a reminder, I want to let everybody know we have a big race coming up in Houston this weekend. So all the marathoners and half marathoners are here. So look for them around downtown. They'll be wearing their running clothes and trying to figure out what the weather is going to be like. So we'll hope you'll join us when we return tomorrow. Coming up, as we said, Up to the Minute is hosting its Presidential Welcome Week for students returning to classes this semester. So we'll have lots of presidents in our studio, we hope, and if not virtually on our program. But also coming up is a special celebration of our 5-year anniversary, which will be this Friday. And we are really looking forward to celebrating that and looking back at some of our special moments, our special guests, and our daily live morning show. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.